Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Lana. I'm so happy you could join me here. I was guided to give this message about some things that I have been reflecting through the twin flame journey, but also through my personal awakening journey. So in the past couple of weeks, we have been dealing with a lot of adjustments, as always. I have been receiving a lot of divine masculines and divine feminines who are really committed in try to heal the past, and they are, well, not just trying, but they are actually working on healing themselves, and through healing themselves they're also healing their connection. And of course I assist with this. I always say a healer is just a channel or a conduit between you and your higher self. So really all the healing that we experience, it has to do with being open to receive your own healing light and your own healing capacity. Our bodies are built to self-heal themselves. That's why when you cut yourself, after a while the wound heals. That capacity of regeneration and that intrinsic capacity of rebirthing ourselves once and once again is something that is extremely human and extremely divine, if you see it that way too. So the same happens too with not only your physical but all of your bodies. The human, or we as humans, are designed to heal ourselves. And what we do as energetic healers is to accelerate the process of this healing. So no matter what type of healing you do, it will, if you are open to receive the healing, that is like 50% of the healing that you will experience. Your openness and your readiness to really heal yourself. And healing can happen even though you believe in healing or not, because it's energy. But if there is a permission, right now we are living in the times where if you give permission to be healed, to the higher forces, to the divine, and to really connect to your divine self through the healer that is going to work on your body, it can really accelerate the process of healing. So in the end, if we see the brighter scope, we are all part of each other. You know, there goes the saying that we are all one, but we actually are all one. We are actually made of the same energy. So a healer that is put in your path, or that you call into your life, or a person who assists you, or even a person who just has the capacity to listen to you, to hold space for your energy at a certain point in time, can be of extreme value and can really be life-changing. And sickness can be cured, miracles can be witnessed. I have seen through my journey the craziest things and the most supernatural, beautiful things that occur when a soul is ready to heal, and when a soul is ready to be elevated, and when a soul is really feels worthy of that enlightenment and really feels worthy of being healed. Because oftentimes the problem is not really the problem at hand, it's not really the illness or whatever is perceived as the issue in the 3D world, but it is the worthiness of the soul at the soul level. Am I worthy of being happy? Am I worthy of being holy? Am I worthy of being healed? Am I worthy of receiving the love of my life? And it goes on to all layers. It goes on to our work. it goes on to our mission. And the true question, or the question that I invite you to do or to reflect upon, is, am I worthy of embodying my true divine self? Am I worthy? Do I feel worthy of embodying my true divine nature? And no matter what the answer is to that question, you should know, and I am telling you from the bottom of my heart, that you are worthy. And that the moment that you align with this worthiness from within, the moment you open the door to divinity, to enter your body, to enter your life, anything is possible. In a sense that you are no longer being a victim, or no longer being placed under certain circumstances by life or by choices, but you are actively creating your life path with your consciousness, with a conscious mind, with a conscious body, with conscious emotions, through your highest guide, which is your divinity, which is you and your most elevated part of yourself. That is the energy that is leading you. So no spiritual teacher, no spiritual master, no teacher, psychologist of any kind has the knowledge, the insight, and the tools that you have and you hold for yourself, within yourself. So many times we go looking for answers and for confirmations and for signs that we are on the right path, but we look for these signs for the wrong reasons. So I invite you to, whatever question you might have on your journey, whatever thing you may be questioning, even if it relates to your twin flame or not, that you put a different motive behind it, that you set the intention of anything that you question, anything that you need answered, you just set the intention of letting the answers come to you through your divinity, through your own divine guidance, and through your own divine power. They may use whatever vessel, whatever teaching, whatever information, whatever place, but that you are guided by your own true divine self. And the way you do this is by connecting more often to that part of you that is holy and divine, by calling in that part of other people in your life when you're relating to them, especially your twin flame. So this is part of what they call the 50 connection. But it is not a connection, and it is not something to use just for the sake of fulfilling some kind of void or some kind of need, but it's more of honoring the sacred connection that exists between everything that we are, and learning how to honor that connection to yourself, to your twin, to others, and also to the people that might need, that are in pain. So through this invisible connection that we have to everything and all, we can use it to bless. We can use it to send healing and love and divine and divinity and sacredness to those parts that we encounter in our lives that may need it. And as you're doing so, you are unconsciously or consciously sending light to the parts of you that are still in darkness, or that need a hand, or that need to be uplifted. So this is one of the things that you can do. And also knowing that, divinity and your human life, your human body, are different sides of the same coin. So all your humanness, all your shadow, if you might like consider it as such, all the parts that we don't like about ourselves, they're also divine, and there's also a divine purpose for them. Also, the people that we may not really like that appear in our lives sometimes, that may cause conflicts, or the not so nice parts, or the hard parts in our lives, everything is divine, all these parts. So when we start seeing this normal world, this 3D reality that sometimes seems so hard and so in place, when we start seeing the divinity in all, we start discovering the possibility for change in all. We start to see that however this came to be through divinity, it can be, it is there to transform itself. It is there to be elevated. It is there to be uplifted, just as we are. We are all being uplifted to higher timelines right now, and we have been since we were born, and since all of our past incarnations, if you believe in that. So we're actually here to ascend as souls. So all of our journeys, including the twin flame journey, which is the journey that you share with another soul that is in your path and which whom you hold this sacred love, this is all already set there to ensure that your soul has the most growth and achieves the most divinity and life lessons and soul lessons that it needs in order to go to a higher level. So there is always this sense that we are going higher and higher and higher. And many times, in order to go higher, we need to be able to let go of the lower. So we need to be able to let go of past hurt, past experiences, and anything that keeps us in loops of suffering. But this is something that is already happening whether you're aware or not. When you heal, or when you go to someone to heal, to help you heal yourself, what happens is that we can address these things at a quicker rate, and we can bring you into this higher awareness faster. So instead of having a bumpy road and all kinds of ups and downs, you are in charge of the ride, you are behind the wheel, and you start to enjoy the ride, because you know that everything that you will see will have a mission and will have a lesson for you. So this is a way of changing our perspective to empower ourselves over our lives, instead of feeling like a victim, or a victim of life, a victim of circumstances, or feeling that we don't have control over things. Because the goal is not to have control. The goal is to enjoy the journey, to enjoy the ride. So it's the same as if, a simple metaphor when you're driving a car, or when you're in a car and someone else is driving. If you are just focused on the other person and what that person is doing, how they're driving, if they're going fast or slow, or how they're looking in the mirror, instead of enjoying the ride, you're focusing on the person. So you're putting all of your energy and your attention on something that you can't control anyway. And instead, if we just let go of that control, let that person drive the way they drive, and we sit back and relax and enjoy the ride, we are going to be far more open to receiving miracles, to seeing the sky, to discovering nature, maybe to discovering things that we didn't even know were there. So it's the same thing with your life journey. And I wanted to talk about the supernatural, this is one of my favorite subjects because I always perceived what we would call supernatural things, or things that weren't there, or I saw things that my friends didn't see. And this supernatural is something that is, I think, very fascinating and has always been fascinating to humankind. Since the beginning of history, there was always this part of the human that would research all the things that they couldn't understand. And of course, things that we now understand and can comprehend through previous knowledge of other humans, those things don't seem supernatural to us. But if we had lived in that time, they would probably have seemed supernatural, right? So, for example, electricity would have seemed supernatural if we had lived in a time where, just before electricity was discovered. So, in this sense, a spiritual journey is very similar. When we awaken and we start the journey, we can get pretty caught up in the whole supernatural thing, so we can start to focus a lot on all the telepathy that we're receiving, or if you're a healer, you can start focusing on all the energy that you start feeling, and the colors, and the energy of that person, and the energy of this place, and these are all beautiful things, but they are not the main focus of your journey. These are tools. And the more you see them as tools to heal yourself and to serve others, the more you can focus on the true mission that is your journey, and to enjoy as well the journey. So through my healing work, I have seen that sometimes there is this lack of commitment to one's own path, because we get caught up in all the things that are happening around the path. So I think it's very healthy and very important that you focus on yourself and focus on really integrating all the parts of you. So if there are parts of you that need healing, you can heal them and then integrate. But this may require, for some people it may require some months, for some people some weeks, for some people some days, and for some people it may take years. In my personal journey, for example, I started my self-healing journey when I was about 15. And I spent almost 10 years healing myself and parallelly researching and learning healing techniques and methods. But the one thing that was crucial to me and to my journey, regardless of all the beautiful different things that I learned and the really complicated stuff, the really simple stuff, the one thing that made a difference between a journey that is self-healing and a journey that is self-complacent, for example, or a journey that really, so a personal journey where I really could heal myself, where I could really see the results, where I could really see and know and feel in my body all the results of that healing. The only thing that made a difference was the commitment that I had to myself and to my self-healing. So I know that many of you are on that journey and are discovering many things, and there are so many beautiful and supernatural things that will come your way. But they will only make sense if your priorities are straight, if your main focus and your main purpose purpose is clear to you and is of your highest divine purpose. It is fulfilling your highest divine purpose. And for me, that was to heal myself, to be able to really experience in my flesh all the things that I was learning and doing. And after that, to be able to heal others through my own healing experiences. So the commitment to myself was very important, because a lot of people come into this journey and they say, when I ask them, well, why do you want to heal yourself? Many can say, well, I want to heal myself because I want to heal others. And that's great. Service is a very important part of the mission as an awakened soul, as a twin flame, as an advanced soul in this planet. But the love that you have for yourself, the unconditional love that you hold for yourself, the commitment to yourself, to your healing path, the commitment to loving yourself unconditionally, that is for me the key. So this is a key that I am sharing with you, because this is the only thing that will ensure that you get to your destiny, that you get to the place where miracles happen, that you get to the place where you are fulfilled, where you are at peace. This commitment to yourself is the engine that should be behind all the journey, you know? Of course, if you think that this is so. For me, this was the difference, and this was the thing that kept me going, because no matter what happened in the outside world, no matter if I went to someone, or because it happened, you know, I went to many healers and I was disappointed, or I got really discouraging words from some of them, or I got very confused sometimes because I was not aware of what was happening to me. I would go and look for answers in all the places outside myself, and these answers were never fulfilling, or not fulfilling to a point where I felt at peace. So this is something that I also recommend to you, that whatever you hear, even if it's on YouTube, on a video, on a reading, if you see psychics, whatever you look for help, be sure that whatever comes back, that you have the enough discernment to know what applies for you and what doesn't, and that you are not afraid to leave what doesn't apply for you, and that you can always go into yourself, into your own heart, and look for the answers there, that you can be in contact with your divine self and ask for the answers so that they come in the most clear way for you. Because this is a very important part of being in the journey, that you learn to trust yourself, that you learn to trust your experiences, that you learn to trust your hunches, your intuition, your awareness. And through that trust in yourself and in God, you can start to receive a lot more from other places, where you will be sure that you can discern what is true for you and what is not. But I know in the first parts of the journey, sometimes it is very hard, especially if you're in a dark place, if you're going through the dark night of the soul, if you're struggling with parts of you that literally feel like hell. I can relate, and I know that it is very hard to get yourself out of those places, out of those dark places, and sometimes we need help, and oftentimes we need help. But in that help seeking, be sure that you always remain sovereign of your own energy, that you always open a path to your own divinity, a line of communication with God, with the divine, and that you always ask for protection. So you know that whatever comes your way, you can handle it, and whatever teachings or lessons come your way, you can handle it because you are protected and you are connected to your own divine self. That is the primal source, and that should be, in my experience, the primal source of where you get your deep answers, where you get your deep insights, and where you get the guidance that you are craving for. But how can we listen to ourselves if we are in a place of darkness, or if we are not sure of how to connect with ourselves? The first thing is, in order to experience the supernatural, in order to experience your gifts, your clairvoyant, clairaudience, your intuitive gifts and abilities, you have to be prepared. So your physical body, your energetic body, and all of your subtle bodies have to have a certain degree of, let's say, expansion. And you have to be able to hold the light. So when you receive spiritual knowledge, spiritual wisdom, you can imagine this big pipeline, which is your galactic cord or your spiritual cord. And through our crown, we receive this energy from the divine. And if we have certain tools in our bodies, we can interpret the information. If we have developed our spiritual practice enough through meditation, through silence, through practicing the state of relaxation, and through actively connecting with the divine, the more we connect, we consciously establish this connection, the stronger it gets. And the stronger it gets, the more we can interpret the messages that come through it. So whether it is healing, whether it is some answers, some insights, some knowledge that you need about yourself, this will come through your relaxed body, your relaxed mind, and through your higher awareness. So the physical body is the tool to actually ground the supernatural. It is the tool to ground your divinity. So the body is very important, the physical body. Sometimes when we start this journey, we tend to disconnect from the physical body. We discover that there is so much more to life than the 3D. There's so much more than our physical body. There's so much more that we can connect to through our consciousness. So we move into the world of consciousness and we start flying there. And this is why a lot of the teachers and healers were constantly talking about grounding and about having a great connection to Mother Earth and to nature. Because as humans, we are connected to the divine as much as we are connected to the earth as well. So this is also, for me, the divine masculine and the divine feminine polarities in this plane of existence. And it is crucial right now that we integrate these polarities in ourselves and that we achieve a balance between the feminine and the masculine within the earth, within the fields of energy. And of course, this leads us to the balancing of the female and the masculine in the physical, so through sacred love, through the twin flames. But this mission, for me, as you see, it is far more broad than just the idea of bringing twin flames into union, because it has to do with the integration of our shadow selves. It has to do with the integration of our own female and male polarities, it has to do with the integration of the divine in our physical vessel, so the integration of our bodies. And then ultimately it has to do with the integration of the divine love with the human love, or with the physical love experience. So there are many layers to this, and this is partly how I work with my clients when we work on the twin flame journey. We address all of the things that are in their own personal journey as a soul, where they come from, where they're going, what their issues are. And then we address the issues of the twin flame in connection to them. And then we address the issues of both of them. And we learn, or we explore how to bring in more union and more unity consciousness and more healing to all of these connections. But the physical body is a very important part that we, and especially the divine feminines who tend to disconnect a lot from the body because of suffering, because of abuse, because of traumatic situations regarding the body, it is something that is of the most important essence to be able to embody our divinity, to be able to embody the goddess. And I'm here to explain to you a little bit how you can use your body as a tool for pleasure, for relaxation, for conscious awareness, and how you can anchor this divinity into your body, which means anchoring all the supernatural and the beautiful miracles into your physical body, into your physical reality. So through the knowledge of how these energetics work in our body, we can start to manifest the realities and the new timelines that we want to exist in, and that our hearts are longing to be in. I spent a lot of time through many difficult circumstances and illnesses. I had my fair share of time in the darkness, in places where I thought I was trapped, and where I even thought that life wasn't worth living. And this was at a very early age. So my whole journey, personal journey, started by pulling myself out of that darkness and actually seeing the light and the divinity that was actually birthed in that darkness. So I'm also here to tell you that whatever you're going through, your deepest, darkest fears and experiences are there only to bring out your highest, most divine, beautiful, empowering experiences. All the things, all the tragedies that we live in our human life, all the polarity that we are exposed to, they are only there to bring out the best in you. So we are at the time where we are learning how to navigate this journey, how to understand the laws of energetics so that we can use them for our benefit. This is what healing does. Healing doesn't alter the laws of energetics. On the other hand, it is having the knowledge of the laws of energetics in order to be able to use them to our advantage. And this is something that has always been done since the beginning of time. Humans in different cultures have developed certain practices in order to take advantage of and harness the energies of nature, the medicine of nature, the medicine that is available in the stars, and the medicine that is available through our own unique divinity and through our own unique healing template. Because each one of us, no matter what your life circumstances are, each one of us has a very specific divine template, and this means that each one of us has a very specific, unique gift to present to the world. And I'm not saying this lightly at all. It is something that I lived through my own experience and also through the experience of all the people that I have healed over the years. There is not one single soul that is not special. There is not one single soul that doesn't have a divine purpose and a divine mission. And there is not one single soul that hasn't a divine, unique gift to present to the world. So I hope this brings you a lot of healing and understanding. And I hope that if you feel called, that you reach out if you want to work with someone or if you need help. And I am here to offer this service, which is what I specialize in, healing through the energy, healing through energetics, and distant healings. So if you wish to work with me, whether you are a recently awakened soul, whether you are struggling with your gifts or how to bring them into the world, or your spiritual gifts, or if you're in a very dark place, wherever you are, wherever it is that you are in your journey, if you feel guided to, please reach out to me and I will be honored to assist you. I am sending you much love and light, and I hope this June is truly miraculous and brings all the supernatural into your 3D lives, and it helps you integrate your energies even more to see the light that you truly are. So I'm sending you much love and light to all of you guys. Thank you for all your support, and thank you for being here.